Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel and welcome to Vlogmas Day 1. So today's video is going to be a Q&A. I haven't done one in a while, so I asked the question on Instagram. I asked for people to submit their questions to me. So I have quite a few stockpiled for right now. Just a little rundown of what this Vlogmas is going to be like. I know people like Zoella, their Vlogmas is literally a vlog every day, like a day in the life type vlog. That's not gonna be what this is. I'm gonna be doing a lot of sit down videos, a lot of gift guides, things like that. Some videos will be days in the life, but I'm gonna focus more on like get ready with me stuff, gift guides, maybe a hair tutorial or two. I mean, I know my hair is not looking fab right now, but I love me some holiday hair. So maybe that filtered in there somewhere. But my life is not nearly interesting enough to do a day in the life every day for 25 days and for anyone to want to watch it. So there will be a few of those mixed in here and there, but a lot of the videos will be sit down style videos. So just be prepared for that. And obviously I took last week off because I was preparing for 25 days of videos. And yeah, let's hop right into this Q&A. I figured that would be a good intro to Vlogmas. Okay, let's start. I'm not gonna be able to answer every question, but I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can. And there were a few repeats, so I'll just only answer those once, obviously. The first question is a fun one. If you don't know, I love Disney. I go to Disney World like twice a year, usually. Don't judge me. I'm 26. I love it. The question is, if you could save any Disney character that dies, who would you save and why? So this question brought up an immediate reaction in me. I'm sure that there are a ton of characters worth saving, obviously. But the one that came to mind first was Tadashi, I think that's his name, from Big Hero 6. Hero's older brother that passes away at the beginning of the movie. That loss just hit me so hard. I still haven't gotten over it. I really like that movie. It's kind of like a sleeper movie now. Like nobody talks about it really anymore. You don't really see Baymax and all that stuff around Disney World anymore. But that movie was really good. I really liked it. And it was just something about two brothers who didn't have parents losing one of them. It was just so devastating to me. And I know he had his aunt and now he has Baymax, but it was just, that was heartbreaking for me for some reason. It was like instant tears. I mean, Disney does that to me anyway, but that was especially bad. What was your favorite and least favorite subject in school? So my least favorite subject in school was absolutely math, because I'm not very good at math. I'm better at math now that I'm older. I feel like my brain needed to develop more or something. But when I was in high school and grade school, I wasn't good at math. It was so confusing for me. But in college, something clicked and I was actually pretty good at math. But when I was in high school, man, math was so hard for me. I had to work so hard to do well in it. And my favorite subject was always the art subjects. We had electives at my high school. I'm sure they do everywhere. We had electives in college, and I took as many creative, artistic ones as I could. Ceramics, painting. Those were always my favorites. Do I have a favorite scent? I don't know if you mean like in general or if you mean like an actual perfume, so I'll answer both. So I really like spicy, woodsy, earthy scents. So things like balsam, cedarwood, sandalwood. I can't think of the spicy element that I love, but I do love a spicy scent. My legs are so itchy. If you can hear me scratching my legs, I apologize. But love those types of scents. And my favorite perfume is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana Amethyst. I will link it down below if I can remember to do that. But it has been my favorite and will be my favorite for like ever. I have really sensitive sinuses and I can't wear a lot of fragrances because they irritate my head. They make me have sinus headaches, which make my eyes feel like they're gonna explode out of my face. So I found that one does not bother my sinuses. It's a dream. I love it. I will never not repurchase it. How do you pull yourself out of a procrastinating slump? Well, I'm a huge proponent of feeling your feelings to an extent. because I know, like, if I'm in a place where I don't feel like doing anything, forcing myself to do something isn't going to make me feel better. Like, there are lots of people who can work through it, whatever, but like if I want to throw a pity party, or if I'm feeling uninspired or whatever it is, I have to let myself feel that way for a while. I have to like gratify that part of me, and then I like give myself a time limit, and once that time limit's up, I push myself into something new and I try to just get over it. But if I don't let myself have any time in that space, it's gonna backfire on me. And that's not always true for everyone. Like I said, everyone's different, but I need to feel my feelings or I can't get over them. So if I'm feeling unmotivated, or like I want to procrastinate or whatever, there's usually some reason for it. And giving myself space usually reignites whatever in me is, lacking in creativity or desire to work or whatever it might be. The next question is, what makes you crazy? The one thing in this world, I mean, there are a ton of things in this world probably that bother me, but one thing that especially bothers me is when people are telling stories and they lie to make their stories better. That really, really bothers me. Like, dramatic embellishment that is so unnecessary, but it makes them look better or more interesting or something. And the other thing that drives me crazy is when people don't celebrate other people. Like, for example, I'm in a bowling league. So if I tell you I bowled a 150, which isn't great, but it's pretty good for someone who's not good at bowling. And the person isn't like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. But they're just like, oh, well, I bowl close to 200 every time. You know, those people that like one up everything, and those people that cannot let someone overshadow them for even a second on any subject matter, like that drives me nuts. And I guess it bothers me so much because I like celebrating people. I like celebrating small victories. I like celebrating big victories. I like relishing in those moments with people, even when they aren't my victories. I don't know. But, and I so can't relate on that note. Like, when people do that to me, I almost don't even know what to say. I'm just like, oh, well, that's cool. I don't know. But there's something to be said about people who feel the need to do that. I just feel like if you're in a position where you always feel the need to overshadow other people, that must mean that you're kind of sad. I don't know. Favorite ride at Disneyland, also at Disney World if they happen to differ. Okay, so first of all, Disneyland and Disney World are so different, okay? Like, the whole of Disneyland would fit in a parking lot in Disney World. And that's not to say that it's bad or anything. It's just, it's a lot smaller. There is so much more in Disney World than in Disneyland. Now, that being said, I only went to Disneyland. I did not go to California Adventure when I was in LA and when I went to Disneyland. So I will only be choosing from the pool of attractions in Disneyland. And I would say that my favorite was either Pirates of the Caribbean or It's a Small World. And that is because those are two of my favorite rides in general from Disney World, which is obviously my home park, I guess. I've only been to Disneyland once, but I've been to Disney World about 50 times in my life. And I loved them. I know that Haunted Mansion would be in that top two, but it was closed when I was there to decorate it for Halloween. I was so bummed. That's my husband's favorite ride. So we were really, really, really excited to ride it. And then when we saw that it was closed and it was reopening like 2 days later, we were so bummed. And in Disney World, well, first of all, I'm gonna pick my favorite in Magic Kingdom because Magic Kingdom and Disneyland Park are pretty much, they're pretty similar in the attractions that they have and all that stuff. The fact that they have a castle and Main Street and all that stuff. So my favorite in Disney World is either Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion. Those are just my OG rides. And Pirates of the Caribbean in Disney World is a little bit different than it is in Disneyland. Disneyland's version is longer, there's a bit more to it, but there are parts that are very similar. I love them both though. And my favorite ride in the whole of Disney World is Flight of Passage at the moment. I go through phases. I just got back from there and that's the ride that really stuck in my mind. It is amazing. I've ridden it like 5 times now, but it's so good. It's such a good ride. It's amazing. I don't know how they did it, but it's great. What are your favorite masks? My single favorite mask is Pharmacy Beauty's Honey Potion, and it's amazing. That's the only one that I've been using a lot lately, so that's the only one I'm gonna mention, but obviously I have other favorites. I did a video a while ago on my top 4 masks, so if you're interested, go check that one out. What's my favorite moisturizer and my favorite cleanser? My favorite cleanser right now is the Paula's Choice Hydrating Gel to Cream Cleanser. Is that right? Yeah. And my favorite moisturizer is 100% Proteiny, always. Best moisturizer. What is your favorite eyeshadow palette? Okay, so this has categories to me. Like, do you mean favorite eyeshadow palette in general? One that's all encompassing? Favorite quality eyeshadow palette? So I'm gonna break that into 2. My favorite eyeshadow palette of the moment that is like, has a wide variety in it, can suit multiple occasions, all that stuff, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. It's amazing. I didn't think that I'd like it when I ordered it for whatever reason. I didn't think that I needed it. I was like, oh, this looks kind of basic, but I love it. It's such a good palette. But my favorite palettes for quality are Charlotte Tilbury palettes or Lila Beauty palettes. They make quads more than anything else. Like Charlotte Tilbury has a few bigger palettes with more options, but their quads are amazing. Their all-in-one palettes are amazing too. And the Lila Beauty quads are great. They are great, great, great value. What is your dream job? Well, my super unrealistic, will never happen in this whole lifetime dream job is to be a doctor. That's what I really wanted to do. And the only reason I didn't pursue that is because, I don't know, there was something about the length of time that you have to spend in school as well as the financial commitment that really deterred me. And I kind of regret it now because I'm 26. I would be almost done with med school if I would have gone, and starting like residency or whatever. But I did not do that, and that will never happen. But I'm not just satisfied with my life. Like I really did want to do that and pursue that, but I wanted to get married and have a family and all that stuff. And the timeline didn't really pan out the way that I anticipated it. And had I known the future, my path might have been different, but I'm happy where I am. So that's my super unrealistic dream job. My more realistic dream job would be doing something creative, like being a photographer or designing things. I used to love graphic design. I do hand lettering, all that stuff, something creative, because that's just always been a huge outlet for me, something that I love and feel passionately towards. So something in that realm. And my other unrealistic dream job would be a cosmetic chemist, which I did not even know existed when I was in college. And had I known, I might have pursued that. Which clean full coverage foundation do you recommend for all day wear? Okay, this is hard. This is really hard because a lot of clean makeup brands do not offer full coverage options. And if they say they offer full coverage options, usually the brand is lying and the product is not full coverage at all. The only full coverage foundation I've ever used from a clean beauty brand that I thought was anywhere near decent in terms of a full coverage foundation is the Lila Beauty Marvelous Matte Foundation. I love that foundation. I think that it's great. It wears well throughout the day. It has a nice finish. It's a little tricky to apply. You kind of have to stipple it on more than buffing it on. But once you get the hang of it, it's really nice. The only downsides for me are that it's a very small pan. It's like a whipped cream kind of formula. It's not a liquid, so it's in a pan rather than a tube or a bottle. And the other con is that the shade range is not great. There's only, I think, 5 shades. And they actually don't have a perfect match for me. I use the lightest shade and it's a bit too light for me. But I definitely think that there's a huge gap in the natural, clean makeup industry because they do not cater to people who like want to look like they're wearing makeup. I guess they assume that everyone that has clean beauty on the brain are just really natural people. And it's not that I'm not a natural person, but I love makeup as a form of self-expression. And beyond that, I have scars on my face and I like full coverage foundation. Sue me. But yeah, I do really like that one. The wear is pretty good and it is full coverage for sure. What's one place in the world that would be at the top of your bucket list to travel to? Tokyo, Japan. I have wanted to go to Tokyo for pretty much my entire life. I love Japanese culture and food. I was actually supposed to go there when I was pretty young with a friend whose family is from Japan, but for whatever reason it didn't pan out and did not happen. So I've just been pining to go there forever. Like the landscape, the food, the culture, I just want to experience it. I think that it seems like an amazing place. I'm really excited to go there one day. My husband also really wants to go there, so that's probably going to be the first place that we travel to internationally because I've never been out of the country and we finally have our passport. And I really want to also go to Tokyo Disneyland and Tokyo Disney Sea. So that's gonna happen too. Can you please recommend a gentle skin cleanser for combination skin? So my favorite gentle cleansers that I feel would work for pretty much any skin type are Pharmacy's Clean Bee and the Paula's Choice Hydrating Gel to Cream Cleanser. Both of those are super good, super gentle, very non-stripping. They work, I feel like they'd work for literally anyone. I love them, they're my favorite winter items. What are your favorite winter items? Body lotion, cozy socks, etc. So my number one must have during winter is a fluffy robe. Okay, you can get them pretty much anywhere. You can get it at Target, probably Walmart. I got my favorite one from Nordstrom. It's super fluffy. It has like faux shearling on the inside. It's long, which it's kind of hard to find like a long robe that isn't really, really frumpy, but this one is amazing. Cozy socks, my favorite brand. I will try to find them online, but I don't know where to buy them really, other than this one small boutique where I live. They're called like the world's softest socks. They have a picture of a cloud on the packaging and they're not super thick and chunky, but they're so soft and they're so warm. They're the best socks ever. My favorite body lotion for winter last winter was the Pacifica Body Butters. I think they're body butters. They're in a tube, but they're very thick and they're super moisturizing. I have really dry body skin during the winter and I get really itchy and it's gross. So I used that all last winter and I loved it. They have a coconut scent that I actually could die for. This year, all I've been using so far is the Sol de Janeiro Coco Cabana cream, which is really, really good. They haven't released it yet. It might still be available for pre-order. I will link it down below if it's there, if it's available. Do you really think we all need a skincare routine with 10 steps? No, I don't. And I think that is something that I really try not to promote. Like I don't share a lot of specific routines, but my skincare routine ranges from using 2 products to using 15 products. And that's because of the nature of what I do on the internet, So for a normal person, I would never recommend a 10-step routine. Like if it's not something that you really love and you really want to do, then you're not going to be able to commit to that and you're going to end up not using what you buy. I think that, really what people need are a cleanser, a moisturizer, SPF, and that's all you really need. There are obviously a ton of accoutrements that you can add on top, like serums and exfoliants and masks and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think that a very solid routine for anyone could literally just be cleansing and moisturizing as long as you're wearing SPF. SPF is the most important step. Cleansing your skin is important as well. I don't know. I really don't like the whole consumerist agenda with trying to push everyone to buy everything. I really, I tell people what's good, and if you want to buy it, cool. But if you ask me personally, that's what I'll tell you. I don't think that anyone needs 10 steps. But if you're someone like me or my friends and you love having a 10-step routine, then more power to you. And last question is, would you recommend everyone does a skincare cleanse once in a while? So I posted about my skincare diet a couple of weeks ago, and it was super beneficial for me. I don't know if you can tell, but my skin is in a really good place. And I'm still kind of on it, but there are certain things I've added back in. I might talk about that in a video soon. But I don't know. It really just depends on the person. If you're someone that uses a lot of skincare and you find that you're not experiencing the results that you want to from your skincare routine, then yeah, it could definitely be beneficial for you. But if you're someone that's super happy with your skincare routine, you have no issues, no complaints, then no, I don't think that it's necessary. But it's always good to take a step back and take stock of what you're using and why you're using it and whether or not it's necessary. So at the end of the day, I think that it just depends on who you are and whether or not you want to do a skincare cleanse. So if you're in the market and you think that it'd be a good idea, you're not satisfied where you are, you want to refresh, you want to start over, it's great. I mean, I highly recommend it. I was absolutely beyond pleased with my experience with doing that. And it made me feel so much better because I felt that I had become so reliant on a lot of my skincare. Like, I was very rigid when I would travel about bringing certain things and having to decant all of this. And it was really an anxious thing. I mean, it became a dependency, especially if you're someone that has certain skin issues, like you're prone to texture or you're acne prone or whatever. You really develop a crutch with it. And you start to feel like you cannot go without certain things. So if you're ever put in a situation where you don't have something, it can be really stressful. So this was a really nice reset for me to make me feel like I don't need all of the stuff that I was using, that I was relying so heavily on. And it was almost like a freedom moment. Like, it made me feel so much better. It made me feel like relieved. Because before, like, if ever I was put in a circumstance where I needed to go away for a night or I was spending the night somewhere else, like, packing my skincare was a nightmare because I needed so much stuff. So now that I know that I don't need all of this stuff, it's made it a lot less stressful and a lot more enjoyable for me. So yeah, that's my advice. If you think that it would be beneficial for you, if you feel like you're too reliant on your skincare routine, then absolutely, I totally recommend it. But if you are in a place where you are happy, you feel very satisfied, stay in that place. That's a great place to be. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who asked me these questions. I am sorry that I couldn't answer them all, but I appreciate every single person for writing in. I will talk to you all literally tomorrow. Happy Vlogmas. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any suggestions for Vlogmas videos down below, because I am taking suggestions. I'm trying to fill my schedule. All right? All right. See you all tomorrow. Bye.